What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Shifty Crab Podcast, where three transatlantic best friends sit down, talk about life, pop culture, video games, and just whatever the hell we feel like talking about. I am your host, Vince. I'm back better than ever. And joining me is the Retro King himself, Terry Jeffs. How you doing, Terry?
I am great. It's good to have you back, Vince. It's just not the same without you, you know.
Oh, I know. You know, you can't. Not enough beard on the podcast without me here.
Yeah, there's definitely a lack of facial hair in the Shifty Crab crew without Vince here.
Oh yeah,
we're letting the team down over here, Adam.
I'm trying my best, but it ain't happening.
And that lovely British voice is the debate king himself, Adam Very. What's up, Adam?
What is up, Vince? The best beard in the business. It is good to have you back. You had 2 weeks, about a week and a half off, and you know what? Yeah. I missed it. I think we went down about half of our testosterone left when that beard disappeared. So it's good to have it back.
Oh yeah, I mean, why tune into the video podcast if you're not going to see this beard every single time you load up a video? Exactly.
It's true.
But it's wonderful to be back. And you know what? Let's start off with a round of what you drinking, Adam. What you drinking?
I'm drinking
anything good?
No alcohol.
No alcohol.
I have a crazy busy day tomorrow, so I'm on the exciting drink, which is Fanta Zero Sugar.
Oh, did you look at that?
Ooh. Yeah, there's nothing exciting today. No alcohol for me.
Nothing exciting. Terry, tell me, you've got to have something more exciting than Fanta Zero Sugar.
I bet you it's a tea.
No,
I'm sorry to let you down, Vince.
Oh,
it is a tea. It's a tea. But
okay.
In my defense, this was not through choice. I actually did want an alcoholic drink, and I've got lots of spirits up there, but I've got nothing to go with it. I could have had a straight whiskey, but I just wasn't feeling it. And I've got no Coke. I had finished off a bottle of Coke Zero yesterday in the house, so I've got nothing to mix it with. And I'm just like, oh, do you know what? I just can't bother. Let's just make a cup of tea and just be an absolute just stereotype of a British person on a podcast.
Now, does this make you more British than Adam? Have you just taken that crown as the most
Adam
British
doesn't
one on
even
podcast?
drink tea. He's a fraud.
I don't drink tea.
Oh,
absolute fraud.
I don't. I'm nowhere near the crown of the most British person. I tell you that now. Terry's got that market covered. Because I'm an American and I even drink tea. How? Yeah, but do you drink tea like English tea or
I bet
you have your tea?
I bet you don't have a kettle though, the electric kettle, do you, Vince?
No, I don't.
No.
Well,
how do you make your tea?
Not technically gonna. No, tea in a pan. Well,
do you microwave
there's a way to make
Vince?
tea in a pan. No, absolutely not. We got a Keurig. See, you just let the water run through into the tea bag. A Keurig, you don't like the cup machines,
Maybe we call it something different. So I say it.
Well, Keurig's the brand. It's basically essential, like
a Tassimo
coffee maker or whatever.
They make tea as well.
You can get tea, cups of tea or whatever to put in it and run it through it. But what I do is I just run the water through it and just have a little tea bag in the cup and just let it sit for a while. Let it steep. Get that get that flavor into it. Because I like a bit of Earl Grey.
I don't like Earl Grey.
No,
Earl Grey's a fraud. Talk us through how you make your cup of tea. Talk us through every step in order that you make your cup of tea.
Every step in order. Wow. Okay.
We'll replace the boiling of the kettle for using the machine. That's fine. Talk us through the order of how you make your tea.
You let the water run through into the cup. You got one, maybe two tea bags, depending on how strong you want it. Increase the strength in multiple tea bags. Come on, Adam. Don't look at me like I'm the crazy person. You're the British man who doesn't drink tea.
I've never known anyone put two tea bags in a thing. What are you? You're a maverick, my friend. You're a maverick. I've never seen that ever.
No, sometimes you got to go two. Depends what tea bags you're
too.
rocking as well. Like,
I do. If you're on cheap ones, but if you've got some Kettles or PG or Yorkshire in there, you just need a one back. Anyway, sorry, go on, Vince, carry on.
All right, we let it sit. Let it steep. Let the flavor run through. Maybe add some honey, a little bit of sugar. Maybe sweeten it up because Earl Grey needs a little help sometimes. It sure does. And then you drink it.
No.
No.
Where's your milk?
No milk.
I don't drink Earl Grey. Yeah, you can have it, but it doesn't necessarily need it, does it? It's
no, you just need a little bit of sweet to it.
It's a bit too. Earl Greys are just a bit too fragrant for me. It's a bit too much going on. Like
it's too fancy.
Yeah, good old traditional English breakfast, which is just it's black tea, but it's just like a mixture of three. I always forget the three blend it is, but yeah, it's got to be a good old top. It's got to be Yorkshire tea. All right, it's here in the UK. It's Yorkshire tea or get out for me. It's
quite tribal in the UK over your tea bags.
Yeah,
there's three brands that corner the market: PG Tips, Tetley Tea, and Yorkshire Tea. Now, Yorkshire Tea is the best tea bag if you're going to have a cup of tea. Like
PG Tips is awful. It's just god awful.
Yeah.
Like they do. They still do their pyramid tea bag. Is that their thing? I think
so. I think that yeah. Tetley, if you can't get Yorkshire tea, Tetley will do. But it's Yorkshire tea all the way.
Tetley is the Bud Light of tea bags.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But if you wanna, Vince, one day if you can, I don't know if you can get Yorkshire tea over there, but if you can, anywhere, like maybe you get it in an import store or something like that. But Yorkshire tea bag, chuck in your hot water, keep the milk away from any tea bag. Milk should never meet a tea bag.
No.
Brew it for 5 minutes or steep it for 5 minutes. Take it out, apply the milk until you get the color of the tea to the color of He-Man's skin. Okay. He-Man. We're going for He-Man.
You're going for He-Man color.
Okay. And then
sugar's optional.
Add sugar, whatever you need. If you don't drink that kind of tea, you might want to chuck in a sugar or two in there. And yeah, just get that down. Yeah.
So what we could do, Vince, is mainly just to screw with you, is we'll send you a package of one tea bag just so you get charged a customs charge of
you got one
$15 and there's one tea bag and you can't
one opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I just stand on this subject for a minute though. I think it was about 5 years ago, and I think it was in the kind of funny Facebook group that I actually discovered that Americans do not have electric kettles, and my mind was blown.
This blows my mind.
I just couldn't. And it wasn't just me. There was all it was like this whole thing of British people going, what? Like it's just. I just couldn't understand it, and they're like, "Well, how do you make your tea?" Like, well, some people are saying they microwave it, or some people are saying they do it in a pan. I was just like, "Wow!" Like, because to me, that's like, if you moved into a house, that's the first thing you buy. That's like, okay, get the kettle. You just can't not.
I don't
have
drink tea, and it's exactly what we do. You get a kettle,
and I know you can get like the old school you can get Lord of the Rings, I'm Bilbo Baggins,
time for that.
Putting that on a fire hob, tea, and whistling and all that. But yeah, that's just electric kettles. It's just I also someone's saying it's something to do with the voltage in America as well. Like I think because the voltage is different, it's not as high. So it would actually
fucked over
it would take twice as long for it to get to the heat to boil or something like that. I don't know. I think this is getting really boring off subject now.
But so do you literally?
Yeah.
Do you literally, let's say you're doing a pan of pasta.
Okay, yeah.
Put the water in the pan and wait for that water to boil.
Yes, that's literally what we do. You don't
just boil a kettle, pour it in, and it's there boiling.
I always thought that that's what you're meant to do. And that I will do it in the kettle, and I feel like I'm just kind of cheating.
It's water.
Yeah.
It is water, yes.
Is your pan fragrant? What's it going to do? It's doing nothing.
No, it does nothing.
Changing the molecular structure of water. It's still H2O.
But see,
what I'm saying is it's going to boil. It's going to boil in the pan. But am I just being impatient? It's going to get there eventually. Am I just being impatient, boiling in the kettle? And then
you're being correct. You're maximizing your time by not just staring at a pan, waiting for it to bubble. Like, my God.
Yeah. It gives you time to prep everything else. You got to multitask when you cook. You don't multitask when you cook. What are you doing? Otherwise, you're gonna have like raw, soggy noodles.
Yeah. Well, I prep before I cook, but because I'm not a Neanderthal. What I was gonna say though is like I know you can get them over here. I'm sure you can get them in America, but it blew my mind when I saw one of these for the first time, and it was at my old job. Is the tap that can instant hot boiling water?
Oh yeah.
And it's you have your hot and cold tap, and then you just flick another one, instant hot, boiling hot water straight into the thing. No boiling, it's always there. Like
never seen that. Nope.
Never seen that.
No idea. Oh. Never seen that.
You'd
have like the taps with like the water purifiers on it, but I've never seen something like that.
Yeah.
But then I suppose our tap situation confuses Americans a lot, like where we had hot and cold taps as separate taps. And not just the one universal one in the middle. Like, obviously, it's changing now quite a lot. Where you used to have your hot tap and your cold tap in the sink, and it'd be two different holes that it came out of. So you can never get.
I hate that, by the way. I hate that. We used to have that at our old house, and one would come out like you might as well just put your mug and your tea bag under it. It was so hot, like boiling, and the other one was just pure ice. So it was like. You're trying to like get a bit of what you're like, ow, like just trying to get a bit of both, just trying to splash a bit of ow, like
you came out looking like Two-Face, like it's gone wrong. But I don't know who it would have been in your family, Terry, but did you have like an elder in your family that could just put their hand under the hot water, wouldn't be bothered, like just be like, this is fine, whatever.
This hand's been burnt like a million times under a pan.
I turn that tap on and. If my hand was anywhere near the sink, I'd be like, it's too hot. Like, I couldn't deal with it. Could not deal with it.
Anyway, Vince, what are you drinking?
What am I drinking? Oh, boy. Well, I had to come in with something alcoholic because someone here has to.
Yeah.
And I figured I'm back, so why not? So I got some White Zombie White Ale.
Oh, wow.
It's from a local brewery. So you can only find this in... I assume places near Charlotte, North Carolina, of course. It's pretty good. It has a bit of more of like a grapefruit taste than, Blue Moon, which I was drinking, which has more of like that orange citrusy taste. Bit of a different flavor. But again, the store we went to did not have Blue Moon. Very disappointed. They had that variety pack that had like, regular Blue Moon, mango wheat and honey wheat. I didn't want to bother with the other two flavors. So I just got a 6-pack of these instead. Very good.
Representing the local produce there. I like that, Vince. I've got to say, I appreciate the American craft brewery scene. And it's very much influencing over here. Like, I know there's a lot of we've got Brewdog and stuff like that, but there's a lot of this. I like all these different kind of flavors and all that. It's getting very experimental out there. It's cool.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a very cool scene. Like if you get a chance to ever go to a brewery, like especially here, it's essentially kind of like a pub. You can go in there, sit, have a few drinks. They sometimes have like maybe arcade games or general things like that. You also get like a bit of food. Nothing like super, I don't know, like meal heavy, more like
wings.
Yeah, wings, like flatbreads.
Fries,
yeah. Some soft stuff like that. But it's pretty nice though, just to go and like chill for a little bit.
Yeah.
Good kind of place for that. There is a bar down here called what the hell is it called? Bartari almost. Something like that. It was basically like a arcade and bar. So you can go in, just play arcade games and stuff and have a few drinks.
Yeah.
Never actually been, but a buddy of mine has, and it's amazing. I absolutely want to go.
Did you ever go to Four Quarters, Adam? I've not been, and I've always wanted to go there. Because there's one in Peckham, isn't it? And then they opened up the one near Stratford, in Stratford. Is that right? Yeah. But I've not been.
That's
that was like I'm pretty sure that was the first one in London, at least, that opened up like a barcade. But yeah, I've still not been to one because that's like my heaven. I just want to go somewhere where I can play old school arcade machines all day long and just eat junk food.
Oh yeah, it's the dream.
Oh, it is the dream. But speaking of playing video games, segue. Adam, what have you been playing?
What do you think I've been playing this week?
Oh, I have no idea.
To
be honest. Oh, Mass Effect.
Oh, of course.
There we go.
Right.
Oh, man.
Mass Effect. Specifically, Mass Effect 1.
Come on, how is it?
Well, it's Mass Effect, so it's... The overhaul is great, but you're not really going to see that properly until 2. So Mass Effect 1, I have a lot stronger memories of Mass Effect 2 than I did Mass Effect 1. And my God, you can see that they did not have the money at that point to make the game that they wanted. For example, they'll do
probably
these
the time,
cutscenes.
right?
Yeah, all the time. Because it was a new IP. It's vast, obviously, because it's Mass Effect. But you forget, like, there'll be moments like, instead of doing the animation for something, they'll just have the text pop up on the screen on what this person was doing. Mm-hmm. So, like, you'll give someone something, and most of the time it'll be a cutscene, but then randomly at points, he looks at it and really likes it and decides that he's going to keep it. And it's like, but you've stopped a cutscene to pop this up on screen and then go back to the cutscene. So they clearly were.
Did they do that? Did they do that in like Knights of the Old Republic?
Yes,
they did.
Yeah, I feel like that was the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that very much was just like an RPG thing, or like a BioWare thing, and they probably did it with like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that. But I guess they were still kind of in the game where they were transitioning out of that. Yeah.
And you forget that driving on the I can't remember the name of it. The
Mako. Yeah,
the Mako is shit.
Yeah, it's not
still ass. Yeah, still bad.
It's so boring, like driving around on that, but. Being back on the Normandy and the Citadel and seeing all those cool characters that have been polished up a bit. And it does look a lot better than the original. It's just great. It's a great feeling to be back there. And I'm just kind of going through the motions because Mass Effect 2 is my favorite one of the series. So, and it's probably, I'd say, overall, I think thought of as the best one in the series as well, the second one. So, I'm just looking forward to getting in there, but yeah, I can't remember most of Mass Effect 1, so it's like playing it for the first time again, which is quite cool.
So, have they changed anything about the combat or anything like that? Like, because that was the weakest part of like compared to the first one to the second one.
So they've changed a few things. So they've changed the combat, so it's much better than it was in the first one. Still a bit clunky in the first one because they're still working with the framing that they had in the first one, so the combat's still very much everything runs in and they hide behind cover. So it's a little bit but that gets better as the games go on anyway. So they have changed the combat system. They've changed the leveling system as well, made it more streamlined. So that's a lot better. I'm finding it really easy to level up though, so I don't know if that needs a bit of twerking. And I'm playing on regular settings, no easy or no hard, just as it out of the box basically as it was. The morality system's changed a little bit. There's more emphasis on, because you've got your Paragon and Renegade. So your decisions reflect the sort of person that you are, opens up different things. That becomes more of a thing in the second one. But in the first one, they start to lay the groundwork for it. And it's just great being back in there. And they've just done a new patch, which was about 25 gigabytes in size. I haven't read through everything that they've added to it, but there are some bugs, though. Some really annoying bugs. For example, your party won't follow you quite often. They'll stay in a room and just stand there. And you'll have to do the whole level just basically on your own until you get to a cutscene or a lift. And they'll just stand there and they won't follow. And there's no way of like bugging it back into being okay. They just stay there. I don't know what triggers it. Sometimes they follow, sometimes they don't. I'd say it's about 50-50 at the moment, which isn't too bad because Mass Effect 1's combat is, and with the upgraded combat, is pretty simple. If you get yourself a sniper rifle and a shotgun, you're not going to have too many problems. So you've got that, and the other bug is when you're out roaming in the was it Mako?
The Mako, yeah.
The Mako, yeah.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I'll get out of it, and then it won't let me back in.
Oh.
And I found out this the hard way. I was on a level 2 hazardous place, went out to open up. I saw a storage container, thought I'll jump out and have a look. Couldn't open the storage container, so I thought, okay, well, there's a bug. I'll just get back in. Couldn't get back in there in the Mako either, so I was just stood dying. So, apart from that.
Are the elevator...
they're a lot shorter.
I was going to say.
Okay, yeah.
And with some of them, you can skip them. Yeah. So you can kind of if there's radio playing, you can skip it and it'll load you straight in. The longest one I've been in so far is probably 5 seconds. They're quick. It is fast loading. I'm playing obviously on the PlayStation 5. You just got to load twice because you've got to load the whole game and then the game that you want to play from that. But it's still pretty quick compared to what it was. It's good. I would say for you, Terry, don't buy it now.
No.
Wait. This will drop in price, and I don't think it necessarily is worth the full price right now. I think it needs a few little patches and little tweaks, but it's still a great experience, and I'm glad they've done it. But there's only so much polishing they can do on that first game, so it still does look a bit like shit. But it improves drastically in the second and third game. So, that's kind of it. That's what I've been playing.
Not bad. I've been wanting to jump back into it, but I've had to hold off for a little bit. But anyway, Terry, how good is Final Fantasy 14?
I have not been on Final Fantasy 14 for so long, guys. I am craving it because I was watching the Endwalker, like the showcase they did the other day. Yeah. And oh man, that game, it's just, I know I am kind of back into it again, but it just, every time I see stuff, it just keeps calling me back. So I have to get back to that soon. But I have been playing a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn, and guys, I'm in love with this game. It took a while for me to get there. I think maybe because before this week, I wasn't giving it as much time investment as it needed. But this week I had some time to really kind of sink my teeth into it. And I'm just head over heels in love with this game now. I just love this world. I realized that I was severely under-leveled where I was because I think I mentioned before, I was just kind of, because I was interested in the story, I was just kind of focusing on the main quests. And I was just kind of doing those. I was just like, oh, all the other stuff, I'll sort that out later. And what I realized was that I was just way further than I should have been for my level. Because I got to this boss and man, I was struggling big time. But luckily I managed to get past it. But I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to go. I think Adam said last time, I took your advice, Adam. It was like, do the hunting grounds and all the other stuff. And I realized there was just so much stuff. Even just the you get experience from just doing the tutorials. You get the tutorials that pop up for your different weapons, which I hadn't even been doing. I did those. I did the hunting ground missions. I did. I was going around and just basically going to find all the campfires, going to the corrupted zones, clearing those, doing all my side missions. And there's side missions, and then there's errands, and then there's it's just so much stuff. And then I discovered my first cauldron. I was like, what the fuck? I was just like, it looks like, what's this little cave over here? And I was like, Jesus, I've come in. This is a main scenario quest. And so I've taken one cauldron at the moment, but I've done so many. And I've not gone any further in the story to what I was last time, and I'm over double the level. than I was before. I think I was like level like 14 or 15, and now I'm almost like 30. I was like, Jesus. And I'm now fully and it's so cool how before, like, the combat, I'd realized now I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't playing it the way I was meant to be playing it. And now I'm just like eating these robots for breakfast. I'm just like, come on, what? Like they just like their lights go red, and I'm like, come on then, let's do it. And I'm just perform this little dance, and I'm just like sliding around, slow-mo, shoot my arrows, laying traps down, loving it. It's all just kind of come together. But I am, I want to say I've got about 5-6 missions, like main scenario missions left, but I'm just enjoying exploring the world right now, and getting all the different vantage points and just everything. I'm just literally working my way around the map, clearing it. I didn't think I was going to do that at this point, but I'm just doing it. And also, I like the fact that the Frozen Wilds is actually part of the actual game. So I think I am going to wait until because I thought it was going to be something that you have to complete the game, and then it's like a separate kind of DLC. But it's not, is it? It's actually just like, it's just in the map and it's like there. I think I probably will finish the main scenario before doing that. I think you have to be level 30 to get into the Frozen Wilds. But just loving it. It's just so cool. But it's just so vast. I can't get over how big this map is, and just how much stuff there is, and how much detail to the world. And it's just, I say it every time, but it's just absolutely gorgeous, like stunning. Like even now, like it's, you come up to the top of these like vistas, and you look out, and it's like, wow, it's incredible. Like sometimes you're running through a field, and it's just like the sun setting, and the light just hits the grass, and it's all kind of blowing it. And it's just, this is impressive, and it does get you excited about what the sequel is gonna hold.
Yeah, Forbidden West. Yeah, like I think it does some things really well, and I think you touched on them there. Number one is, I feel like the sense of power that you get from leveling up isn't just a number. Like when you dig into that, and then you think about how because the way you were playing the game is the way probably everyone was playing the game, but like that's all you can do when you're a lower level. Is all you could do. But as soon as you get strong enough to play the game how you want to play it, it's like your mind opens, and you're like, let's fucking go. Like now you're the bitch, because I'm coming for you. Like right. And the second thing that it does really well, and it's such a small thing, but it's so cool. The slide's good. But when you can jump off stuff and just fire your bow in slow motion,
I just started doing that.
Like, ass.
Amazing.
I love that. I probably died too many times because I'm going for that. Like I want to just keep going around, jump in, doing it, because it's such a cool thing to do.
Yeah, it's weird actually. I've changed the way in that I played. Like when I was first playing it, I was playing very stealthily because I didn't have that skill to take them on one-on-one. I was just doing the hide in the bush, whistle them over, do the stealth attack kind of thing. But now I'm like hardly doing that at all. I don't feel like I really need to. I'm just kind of like just taking them head on. There's a few times like where I've just been completely outnumbered by like loads of different ones. I'm like, whoa, like this is a bit harsh. What am I meant to do here? Like they literally get attacked from every angle. And I feel like in this game, if you get hit a couple of times, that is it. Like especially with the bandit camps, you go to the bandits. If they get up close to you and hit you, you're dead. That's simple as that. You can't let anyone get near you. You got to like So no, it's great though. It's really good. I reckon if I crack on with it like this week, I'll probably by the time we next speak, I would have had the story finished off at least, and probably most of the other stuff done.
And then you'll be getting ready to step into the Frozen Wilds.
Frozen Wilds, yeah.
Oh, wow. I've never played the DLC.
No, I haven't. I'm going to do it this time when I work through it. Yeah. What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Well, there's only one thing I've been playing because I was out of the house for a bit and I only had my Switch with me. So I went to the store and I bought me a copy of Hades. For the Switch. And boy, this game, it deserves everything it got out of it. Like, it's so fun, even if it's repetitive. And that's kind of what I love about it, because it's repetitive because, I mean, it's a roguelike. So you're doing runs that are almost always the same. There's variations between like enemy types, rooms, and all that other stuff, boss fights. But it never feels like when you die, you're not still making progress. Whether it's, on the runs or story beats, things like that. Every time you die and you come back to, the House of Hades, there's usually like small story bits, or say on a run you've gotten, what's it called? The nectar, which you can give to like different NPCs, and they'll like either give you something in return or a bit more of their story, a bit more dialogue, things like that. So you're always constantly making progress. You never feel like, say, in Dark Souls, when you die, you're sent back and you've lost ground. Hades doesn't really have that, even though it is, a difficult game in and of itself. You still feel like there's some forward momentum to it. Now, I haven't had a successful run yet. I've only made it to Elysium, which is the third area, and I keep getting my ass kicked there. But I mean, I'm still having a wonderful time with it. And they do this genius thing of, once you get used to a boss, say the first boss being Megara, the Fury, once you start getting used to her and you can like go toe to toe with her every single time and win, they start introducing her sisters, which have somewhat the same attacks, but each of them have different variations on them. Like the Fury of Murder. Well, I forget what her name is, but that's kind of technically what she is. Every now and then, I think it's either like every third of her health that's gone, she'll change the arena to make it smaller. And it just keeps getting smaller to trap you, to where you're kind of fighting in this like little narrow hallway at like her final phase. So it kind of keeps throwing these like differences at you to keep you like, so you're not super used to every single boss, every single enemy type. Even like the Hydra, like I'd beat the Hydra twice in Tartarus. The third time I met him, he pulled out different moves and started spawning mobs on me. Like it keeps like introducing these new elements as you progress, so it just keeps you guessing like what's going to be next. And I kind of love it about it, because I want to see like what more is there to it. Like even like changing of the Furies has like story beats associated with it, because Meg, who was tasked to stop you, has now been replaced by her sisters on certain runs potentially, and she actually gets upset about it, because it's like she specifically says that Hades himself thinks that she's taking it too easy on you, so she's punishing her by using her sisters. So it has like these story elements to it, because you're getting better and you're doing better. And man, that's just cool. Like I love this game. Like $25 for Switch or PC probably. It's just so fun. Keep going back and doing several different runs. And I'm
so how many areas are there? Sorry, Vince.
I believe there's 4. There's Tartarus, Asphodel, Elysium, and the last one I don't remember, because I've never made it that far yet. Haven't made that far yet. But I know from like watching other people's runs, there's at least 4, and then you get to the end for like the final confrontation, which you don't know about because it's story purposes. But you have to get to that confrontation 10 different times. I believe it's 10. In order to get like the true ending, or like the full story and everything. So it kind of incentivizes you to keep going, even though you've beaten it, to get more out of it. And it's what I'm absolutely going to keep going back to, because it's so good. I mean, Supergiant Games makes great games anyway. Like I love Bastion. I've never played Transistor, but I want to play Transistor. And Hades is no exception. They put so much work into this game, and it absolutely shows.
They seem like such a just such a talented team that just really knows what they're doing. It's so cool. Like, I mean, I've watched. I haven't played. I played a bit of Bastion. I haven't played Transistor or Pyre, but watching their documentary, like the no clip documentaries of them making Hades, it's just so cool. And just seeing how they're just for such a small team, they just got so much talent in that team. They surely got to be one of the best teams out there in the world right now.
They really do.
Do you level up like in this? Because like you're saying, like you know, so every time you do die and you go back, you are going back stronger. Do the enemies get stronger, or
certain enemies do? So like in a run, you'll get 3 different areas. You either have 2 choices, or the next room will be like something else, and it'll show you on the door what it's going to be. So like it'll be boons from different gods, or it'll be like money for the shop, or pomegranates which upgrade like your abilities that are only good for that run. But the other items are darkness, I believe it's called, and you can collect those to then spend in, this is going to sound super weird, but in the House of Hades, you have your bedroom, which then leads, to your escapes from Tartarus. In the bedroom is a mirror that you can use to reflect, and you can spend those the darkness currency to upgrade a little certain abilities, I guess I could say. Like one of them is to upgrade like your backstab. So if you get a backstab on an enemy, it upgrades about like 10, 20, 30% extra damage for a backstab. There's one that's called Death Defiance, that once you unlock it, you get a revive during your run. And you can upgrade that to be like, however much health you get per revive. So I think it starts off at like half your health, then like 75, then all of your health back. So there's like these small upgrades you can do, as well as each weapon. When you beat the first boss, the Fury, you get Titan's Blood, which makes the weapon stronger. And also, if you collect enough Titan Blood, it unlocks. You get the option for more weapons, which then you use keys to unlock. Keys you can find on your runs as well, to like different areas. So you're unlocking different weapons to find like what your best skill set is. You're getting these small minor upgrades, as well as I think they're called tokens. So like if you gift one of the gods or any of the NPCs, they may give you a token, which has different effects. So the one from Kelly, who's basically like a dummy that you can practice your moveset on with different weapons, he gives you the Golden Tooth, which will then give you an extra Death Defiance. So you can stack up to 2 Death Defiances and go on a run with that. There's also ones from like Zeus, where you're guaranteed as soon as you start off, you'll get a boon from Zeus, or the next chamber you enter is a boon from Zeus. Small things like that. So you get like these different things you can like pick and choose, as well as like some tokens will be like, it guarantees the next boon you get from whatever god will be a rarity or higher. So the higher the rarity, the better the boon is, or the better the effects it has. But you get like these small things to improve on your next runs. And of course, it's like getting your skills up too. Like once you face certain enemies, you know how to face that opponent. Now, enemy-wise, there are certain enemies that are shielded. So you have to break the shield and then attack them. And they kind of get harder. I mean, as you're going through, I don't think it really changes like how easy or hard the enemies are. 'Cause, like the starting area, I can go through in maybe like 5 minutes. When I get to, the next one, Asphodel, it's a little bit challenging still, but I can still usually make it to the Hydra. But Elysium is where it gets really hard. So it kind of like escalates in difficulty as you go, obviously, because you're trying to make your way out, it's going to get tougher towards the end. So they don't really like increase difficulty for like the lower enemies as you keep going. But there are those like boss change ups that kind of keep you guessing a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. It does sound really good. Really good. I mean, I've never heard anyone say a negative thing about Hades. It's just
no.
Everyone just praising it.
I mean, the worst part is sometimes I can't put it down.
Yeah.
that's the only negative thing to say. Like the first day I bought it, I almost killed the battery on my Switch twice because I just kept playing it. I had to put it down to recharge my Switch.
That's always a good sign.
Always. But
nice.
Let's switch gears. Let's switch gears to a little topic I want to bring to the table. So, as I was out of the house for a week and a half or so, I was gone. Again, only had my Switch with me. I didn't really have access to any streaming services, so I was kind of forced to watch normal TV. I call it normal TV because, that's exactly what you expect.
Oh my god!
From that, it's cable, satellite, whatever you want to call it. It's so weird transitioning from like streaming services back to like normal TV. And I gotta say, commercials for one have gotten super weird. Either that, or I'm just way too old at this point to really understand today's humor. Like it's so bizarre, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
kind
of where I'm getting with this is there's one channel specifically, Sci-Fi. I don't know if you guys have it over there in the UK.
We do.
Yeah. They generally do like movies all day. And it's like, how weird is it to watch a movie that's so almost heavily censored, but at the same time, not really?
Yeah.
So I was watching like Cabin in the Woods, right? They had that on like all week. Great film. If you've never watched Cabin in the Woods, absolutely go watch that movie. But it's a horror movie. So it's got like blood, gore, all that in it. But mainly the only thing that's censored on it is like swear words. People can't say fuck a lot.
What?
Nudity obviously gone. Like it's such a difference, going from streaming services to normal TV. And even then you don't feel like you're really getting the whole experience out of it.
Yeah, I don't watch TV.
You don't watch TV?
Not really. Like I would rather suck a toe than watch an advert. Like I tell you now, I have YouTube Premium, so I don't need to see that shit. I detest having especially. I know it's monetizing for people and stuff like that, so I totally respect it. And I know when I do YouTube Premium, that doesn't affect them because so I'm fine with that. But I hate adverts. And I know when we get to a certain point, we'll probably have to have adverts in our videos. And trust me, they'll be there, but I hate them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I detest them.
Yeah.
Because you have no choice over what they are.
Oh,
I'm choosing to watch a program. I don't want to see an advert for 7 cars, which are all basically the same advert, upbeat music, ridiculously aggressive driving, and then the car's an absolute piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to see that. I hate it. I just hate TV. I hate the whole thing. It got ruined for me when I lived in Egypt. And in the hotel, there was only 3 English speaking channels you could have. They were obviously subtitled in Arabic, but there were 3 English channels, one was the news, but like American news. So I think it was like CNN. So I wasn't that bothered at the time. I wanted BBC if I was going to have anything, and what was going on back at home. Then there was like this movie channel called Channel 2, and it showed just blockbuster movies all day, or American or English films all day. But because of obviously what you can and can't show in Arabic countries, these movies were so heavily censored but they wouldn't censor them like by bleeping them out. They would just cut that scene out.
Mm.
Oh, just completely.
Yeah. So, for example, obviously you can pick what you're watching. I just had a TV. I'd have a film on if I was in my room, like or whatever, because I hate silence. So, like P.S. I Love You, for example, would be on or something like that, and they couldn't show any kissing. This is a rom-com. So these are just so basically it was like no spoilers for P.S. I Love You, which I think came out about 15 years ago. When like it just looks like who's the woman in that one? It's
that's
a very good question.
Jennifer Gardner?
That doesn't sound right. I'm gonna look this up.
No, it's not Jennifer Gardner. Who is it? I know it's
I can see her face, but I don't know the name.
No, it's not Anne Hathaway. It's not Jennifer Gardner.
Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank. That's the one.
Sorry,
yeah. And Gerard Butler. Yeah. Basically, it looks like Hilary Swank has just gone to Gerard Butler. Gerard Butler's her best friend, and she's gone to his funeral. Like, you can't. Yeah. There's none of this. And then obviously, you'd watch like another movie, and it's like, will they kiss at the end? Will they fall in love? It would build up to it, and then credits. Like, or the scene afterwards.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they weren't allowed to show. Was that like was it like a watershed, or was it just like not at
all day long?
Wow.
Like, and then you'd watch. I could never work out what could and couldn't be shown. So like, kissing and stuff like that wasn't allowed. I think swearing was just not included in the subtitle. I think if I remember rightly, I heard like swearing in the films, and they'd show weird films. It'd be a weird selection of films, but I'd never seen Crazy Heart before with Jeff Bridges. Like, great film, actually. Like, great film. I enjoyed it. I sat there and listened to the songs. I was just like, well, this is quite a cool little film. And I had a great time with it. But because you were forced to watch it. Like, what was that? Yeah. Keanu Reeves one when he played American football.
That's a movie?
Oh, yeah.
Where he's one of the ones that were the reserves, basically, and they end up having to be the team. Because
I can't remember the name of that film.
What was it called?
Keanu Reeves football movie. Let's see. The Replacements.
The Replacements. That's the one. Yeah. Great film. Loved it. Very paint by numbers, like sports film, but so it's heavily censored. I think that kind of, and they show a lot of adverts. Like,
I'm sure. Yeah.
It's like American style. It's like adverts every 10 minutes.
Oh my God. I remember the first time that I went to America and I watched TV. I think we went to LA and I could not believe it. I specifically remembered watching an episode of Friends and there was like, like in Friends, like in every sitcom, you have the opening scene before the title. There's the opening scene and then it cut to an advert. And then it came back to the opening credits, and then there was like another scene, and then it went to another advert, and there was like, I kid you not, there was like 10 adverts in an episode of Friends. Like, how is that even possible? The show's only 20 minutes. I couldn't believe it. But props to the adverts in America, because they were like, I enjoyed them.
Aggressive.
I just love how aggressive and all out they are. They're like
do this.
It was like they're like very like expensive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like lots of lots of CGI and stuff like that. But I couldn't believe that. I just couldn't believe how many there are. Like it's just crazy.
It's ridiculous. Vince, would it blow your mind to know that in Friends, the TV series, if we watch that in the UK, there is one advert break?
Really?
Yeah.
That goes for any, if it's a half-hour show, there's one advert in the middle. And if it's an hour show, there'll be one, every quarter,
And then let's say you're watching a game of football or soccer, for you guys, you only have adverts at half-time.
Half-time, 15 minutes.
Really?
Get your shit done.
Breaks in the game.
Back.
You watch it without breaks. Formula One, for example, I watched Formula One, 2.5 hours, not a single advert.
And if you're watching anything on the BBC, there's no adverts at all.
At all.
Pay for the BBC.
I mean, obviously, in between shows, you get like But no,
you only get adverts for the TV programs. You don't get
anything outside of that.
Like
that's why I never know. That's why I never know about any shows on the BBC, because I don't watch live TV, and unless you're not watching BBC, you don't know about those shows because they don't advertise them anywhere else. But going back to what you're saying, I haven't watched live TV in years, like literally just years. I've just completely, as I say, kind of cut the cord. Like I cancelled I used to have Sky. I had Sky forever, which is like our main cable package over here where you have everything. And once obviously started jumping onto Netflix and Amazon, I was just like, I just don't need this anymore. And and I do not miss the adverts. But saying that, we've been binging a lot of Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares recently, because that's like my fast food. That's like my TV fast food. And so I've been jumping on which is like the on-demand service for Channel 4, which is where you get them. But my God, it's like to watch on that, you have to sit through the adverts and you can't skip them. And it's infuriating. I can't stand it. And if you try to skip, like you might have just sat through like 2 minutes, 3 minutes of adverts, and then you might try to move move it along a little bit. You think, wasn't that this bit? And then it chucks onto another like 3 minutes of adverts, and it's like, I can't do this. Really have to just like grip my teeth.
Yeah, I hate it. I started watching last year. Started watching The West Wing for the first time. I'd always wanted to watch The West Wing because I like political dramas and I like stuff like that. So I thought I'd always slept on The West Wing. I was too young when it first came out, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to watch The West Wing. And I was watching it on 4OD, and I have 4OD, like the paid service. So if you're watching a UK program, you don't have any adverts. But I got it and thought, well, great, I'll have no adverts for The West Wing. Wrong. Like, no, I get 4 ad breaks per thing because it's an American show. Like, it's ridiculous. It drove me. I stopped watching it. I could not finish it because I was getting annoyed. And it was always because it's 4OD and because they're only allowed to show you adverts for their programs. They don't have many programs, so it's always the same advert. Like that I could say verbatim. I hated it. I've
never seen an episode of The West Wing.
It's really good. I like it. It's really good. If we have Sky Go, so we piggyback off Casey's parents because they have a Sky Q account, so you can have a family package. So we just log on to the PlayStation and watch it that way. But if you're watching something on catch up on Sky now, there's about 12 adverts.
Really?
But just chuck them on at the beginning.
Yeah.
And if you're watching a program that has adverts in the middle, they'll still give you the adverts. I was like, it never used to be like that. Like, hate it.
It's bad.
You've not picked a good topic here, Vince, because I fucking hate adverts. So.
Although saying that, I hate advert breaks, but I appreciate good, like, there's
the Super Bowl ads are good.
Like, I appreciate a good ad. You know what I mean? Like, I love, like, especially back in the day, I get nostalgic about, like, gaming ads and, like, and stuff like that. Like, I think when an ad's done right, it's like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but then you get the stupid ones like Go Compare.
Oh yeah, I mean it's they're all shit.
You won't know these ones. Now. I'm sorry, Vince, but
no, nothing.
Sorry, Vince, to hijack your.
That was great. But yeah, ads are awful. Like having to sit down and watch, especially if you're watching a movie, like how I basically did the whole time.
Won't do it, Vince.
Oh, it's just too many. It
just breaks the flow so badly, and you feel like you're missing scenes and everything. But
going back to what you were saying though, Vince, about the censored stuff, like one of the channels over here, ITV, like plays a lot of like films, a lot of the same films all the time. And they play a lot of the films like in the day. And one of the films they always play is Jurassic Park. And I always remember there's like certain scenes which they would cut out, like the bit with the when the T-Rex eats the lawyer off the toilet. They would not show that bit. It's just weird. I remember they just cut that bit out. And what's the other thing as well? Like Liar Liar. So one of my favorite films. Like, and when they used to show it on ITV, they used to show it during the day. And because like Liar Liar is kind of like, it is a family film, but it is like borderline. There's a lot of things in it. I definitely realized that the other day because we watched it with the kids. And there's a lot of scenes in that. I was like, oh, like, it's like me, like my wife's like looking at each other, like behind the kids, like, yikes, did they pay attention to that? But
Jim Carrey's so good in that, though.
Yeah, so good. But now I realize why on ITV when they played that in the day, they butchered that. There was like so many scenes. It used to infuriate me when I used to watch it as a kid. I was like, why are they not showing that scene? Why is that bit cut out? Like, there's like so much. They must have cut about 20 minutes off the runtime. But it's just funny. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When we say about censoring, it always brings me to what was the censored version of Snakes on the Plane? What is it that Samuel L. Jackson said? It was like
we got to get these snakes off these motherfucking plane, and that bit.
But no, he said I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Oh yeah, okay.
But in the censored version, it's something like I'm tired of these Mountain Valley snakes on this. It's ridiculous. Like, and he had to say it. They did a second version of it, like, and it's ridiculous what he says.
That's something we don't get anymore in music. Like back in the 90s, like definitely the late 90s, you had a separate song, particularly for like rap songs, a separate song for like the censored version. I remember. Do you remember like Eminem? Like we had
there is that. Yeah,
like my name, like hi, my name is. There was a completely different version for radio. Yeah. They just and now they just don't even bother. Like just if it goes on the radio, just half the songs just like cut out.
Yeah. But I suppose the only two that come to mind recently was obviously WAP. Like they had a different version, and then Forget You
version of that.
Forget You, CeeLo Green, which was obviously
Forget You. Yeah, that was a good.
They're probably the two most recent ones. But yeah, you're right. They don't do that anymore.
No, I think because back then, like radio was like you had to get your song on the radio. So if you want, like, it was funny. But it's just it's like using that as an example. Like, hi, my name is like. It's both versions are really cool because like the way that he managed to he pretty much rewrote the whole song that to make it and it's pretty cool like to hear like how he did that.
I do like that. Yeah, those were the days.
Those were the days. They have
the 90s
kids pop of kids doing songs that they probably shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, and
trying to make it family friendly. No,
I have a quick thing just to quickly bring up before we move on. It's like because Terry talked today, and it's a conversation that I had with my friends not long ago. I just want a quick get your guys' gauge on this. Who you think?
Yeah,
we were talking about Liar Liar, so Jim Carrey was one that came to mind because he was one of my suggestions. Which actor or actress do you think has the strongest track record of good films? And
good films.
Yeah, like good to great films that doesn't have too many duds in there.
DiCaprio.
Like, yeah, DiCaprio.
DiCaprio doesn't make a bad movie.
DiCaprio's good,
He just like picks and chooses, and it's like literally 95%, if not more, of his films are great.
What would you say DiCaprio's best is?
His best film or best his best film or best performance? Like what would?
So you could do both. What do you think? What's your favorite DiCaprio film?
Ooh.
My favorite DiCaprio film would probably. Oh, that's a tough one because I'd probably say Inception because that's just
so good.
But his best performance. I mean, Wolf of Wall Street's up there, and also
as well.
And also, The Revenant. Like The Revenant, he was incredible.
I throw Django up there too.
Django is absolutely amazing in that.
Great in that.
I mean,
he's really good in The Beach as well.
The Beach
was a great film for its time. Very early noise.
Shutter Island is great in it. Like it's just
The Departed.
Departed, yeah. Like you could go on and on. Like it just, and you could have said that about De Niro up to a certain point,
and then it's just gone to shit.
And I honestly do think when everything's said and done. I honestly think that DiCaprio will go down as the greatest actor of all time.
He's getting close, isn't he?
Because I think if he just seems to be getting better with age. He's becoming Scorsese's new De Niro. Like,
they're doing the film
and
now,
they're even
aren't
doing
they?
a film together. Like, but he's already done like, what's he done with Scorsese already? Done like The Aviator, The Departed,
Aviator,
Gangs of New York.
that's an incredible film, Gangs of New York.
What else? Shutter Island, Wolf
Was
of
that
Wall
Scorsese
Street.
as well?
Shutter Island is, yeah.
I didn't know that was Scorsese.
Yeah, and now the new one he's doing with De Niro, like, and because obviously back in the day, like in the 70s, 80s, and it was all De Niro, Pesci, and Harvey Keitel, and I think it's he's building such a good legacy that if he carries on doing, if he doesn't have this weird thing when he gets
De
to
Niro,
like 60 and then just starts doing some really bad comedies, and I just can't imagine him doing that. But hey,
he's a solid shout. I don't think there's many that can. Well, the obvious one is Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis,
because he really picked and chose.
He really does, yeah.
And some of his performances have been incredible. But you see, Tom Cruise has gone a little bit. Had a few flops in there.
Tom Cruise has had too many. Yeah.
Now, but like you would say at one point he was on it. Like, but he's done a few. Yeah. It's a difficult one. I'd say for me, Denzel Washington. Usually, I'd say, and a high percentage knocks out a great film.
He does.
The Equalizers 1 and 2 were really good films. Like, I really enjoyed them as his more recent ones.
Has there been any duds? Any like bad films from Denzel?
I don't think there's been duds that I can think of, but there's been films that I think has played it safe.
Yeah.
Like, and just done, like, what's the train one? Unstoppable? Or something like that on the train. Which was still an okay film, like, but it was very...
It was forgettable. That's what it should have been called, forgettable.
He did his own stunt in that, though. He ran across the top of the train and he's scared of heights and was terrified doing it, but he did it. Yeah, that's a cool fact. And
his best film was Training Day.
Training Day is incredible. But I'd say American Gangster is...
American Gangster is good.
He's done some great films. Like, he's done some great films. But in... The Equalizer Part 2, I don't know if you saw those films. They were both really good, so you should watch them. Equalizer 2 is the only ever sequel that he's done. Never done another sequel. Which is a bit like Leo, I guess. Leo doesn't do sequels. Who do you think, Vince? Who would you throw into the mix for this?
That's difficult, because there's a lot of actors like that are really good. I mean, DiCaprio for sure.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to throw out Keanu Reeves, but he's only just really gotten. He had a dip after The Matrix, and then right into John Wick's kind of brought him back. So he's had that bit of slump there.
He's done some. He did a few weird ones in the middle.
Exactly.
The Meet Joe Black stage. I mean, was that Keanu Reeves? Meet Joe Black?
No, that was Brad Pitt.
Oh, it was me. That was Brad Pitt. Yeah. What was
Brad Pitt and Anthony Hopkins.
Didn't Keanu Reeves do a gorilla film? I'm just making that up.
I'd love to see Keanu Reeves do a gorilla film. But
I'm sure there was something about
John Wick 4. Like,
he just has to fight a gorilla.
The gorilla,
the whole film.
Oh,
is that the next Pong versus Wick? Like,
now that I've mentioned him, though, Joe Pesci. Now,
he's a great actor.
Joe Pesci stopped, like, you know what I mean? He stopped while he was on the high. Like, he made some obviously amazing films with Scorsese, like Mean Streets,
Casino.
Casino, Goodfellas, Raging Bull. Like, you go on and on. And then, like, he won the Oscar for Casino. And then he pretty much just dropped the mic at that point, and then just like, I'm out, and that was it.
He came in for Lethal Weapon, didn't he?
Oh yeah, so he did the Lethal Weapon films, which were mostly good. Like,
he was good in them.
Yeah. And and then obviously came back for The Irishman.
He's probably the best person.
Did miss him. Did miss him for a long time. Such one of my favorite actors.
Well, you know what? I'm going to throw out.
Going with
Tom Hanks.
I was going to say Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks knows
there's definitely quite a few duds in there, but a volume he's made, and I think maybe I'm just being like biased because he's like he's the most likable guy in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
If you don't like Tom Hanks, then you are dead inside. I'm sorry. You're dead inside.
For sure.
He's done some incredible films. Like some absolute like he's probably one of the most important people, one of the most important actors for cinema history is Tom Hanks with the roles that he did. Like Forrest Gump, obviously incredible. But some of his
one of my favorite films.
Yeah, Forrest Gump is
incredible. One of my favorite films.
Big is incredible.
Big, yeah.
Gosh, so good.
Like, Captain Phillips is a really good film.
Really good.
I'm not as huge on his like Sleepers in Seattle, You've Got Mail style films. That I was never a big fan of the 90s.
I really like Sleepers in Seattle. I really like him.
But you can appreciate them. Like,
Castaway.
Yeah.
Castaway, of course.
Yeah,
incredible film. Casey's
Green Mile, come on now.
Oh man.
Green Mile. I can't watch the Green Mile though.
Green Mile, that's too much. That's too much.
Too much now.
I can't remember last time I watched it. I can't actually. Yeah, that's too much.
Too much. Like Casey's favorite Christmas film as well is Polar Express. She loves that, and he does pretty much all the voices and all the like for a lot of the characters, apart from some of the kids. Like she loves that. Yeah, but he's Toy Story for God's sake, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like the guy that I would have said for a while as well. Will Smith was on such a good run, and then that dropped. That tanked.
I feel for Will Smith. It was from probably from Wild Wild West, maybe.
But he redeemed himself after Wild Wild West a little bit,
and then it was After Earth.
Men in Black 3.
Yeah, Men in Black 3, and then After Earth was the one that I think he really took personal, because I think that was the first which he had his kid in it, and it bombed like big time, and I think after that he couldn't catch a break. Everything he did was didn't do well.
He had some great, like one of my favorite films is Ali, like because he was so good in Ali, so good in that. And I watch it purely. Obviously, I went to drama school, like so I watched that film purely for the craft of how good he was in that film. And he did like Pursuit of Happiness, which was a really good.
Pursuit of Happiness is my favorite of his
very good movie.
That literally...
7 Pounds was pretty good. Like, but 7 Pounds we were starting to borderline on. I want an Oscar. So I'm going to do this. Like that was a bit too on the nose, but Pursuit of Happiness, incredible film. Pursuit
of Happiness. The bit that gets me in that film is when they are in the subway.
Toilet.
And he's pretending that there's like dinosaurs and stuff, and because he's got nowhere to sleep, and then they go in the toilet, and there's someone like trying to get into the toilet, and he's just like jarring the door with his foot, like just crying while he's like crying in the kid. Wow, that's he's good. He's good.
I think Leo has probably got a almost perfect record, though. I think he's probably got highest percentage.
He's got some great films.
He's got so much range. He's just so good.
He does.
He do want to throw out people really well.
He does. He really does. I do want to throw out Robin Williams. May he rest in peace.
Yeah,
he did some great films.
Fantastic films. He could do the drama and the comedy, like, man.
Patch Adams is a great film.
That's such a good movie.
Yeah.
Great
Even
film.
playing a motherfucking robot in Bicentennial Man.
Yeah.
It's a great film. I just watched it and go, God damn it. Obviously, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire, just absolute classic. And let's not forget Jack. Very emotional film. Let's not forget
Jack, yeah.
Then he did, what was it, 1 Hour Photo?
1 Hour Photo, 1 Hour Photo, and what was the Chris Nolan film?
Chris Nolan?
Yeah, Chris Nolan's like second after he done Memento. What was it? I always forget the name of this one. Can't remember. But it's not one of Chris Nolan's best films, but Robin Williams is good in it.
Oh, he's so good.
But he's like a serial killer in it. It's like, it's pretty.
I didn't like seeing him play the bad guy.
Yeah.
And obviously Jumanji.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, just for how good that film is.
Amazing.
You try and think of the newer actors on the scene. I think it's going to be really difficult for them to match some of the careers of the ones still going or the ones from before. It's going to be so difficult.
Oh, Insomnia.
Insomnia, that's it.
Insomnia, yeah. Never seen that.
Yeah.
Good anyway, sorry to hijack your question, though, Vince.
Oh, it's okay. That was a great discussion. It was a wonderful discussion. I like sitting down talking movies sometimes. There's a lot of good stuff out there.
I love
a lot
movies.
of good stuff out there. Me too. It's a shame TV has to ruin them sometimes.
Just
even
watch it on
sometimes, all the times. Yeah, just go to streaming service. But yeah, I watched like Cabin in the Woods maybe like 5 times last week. Such a good movie still.
That's the thing. That is the one thing that's different about not having Sky anymore. Is like remember like when like before Netflix and stuff, you'd kind of just be flicking through. Like the same way that we kind of just blade through like and don't watch anything on Netflix. Back then we just keep flicking to each channel when you just like go to each film, and then there'd be that one film which for me it was the dangerous one was Goodfellas. Like Goodfellas is my favorite.
Yeah.
And if Goodfellas was on, it didn't matter what point it was at. I've seen the film like 500 times. I couldn't turn it off. Like literally, I'd be watching it from that point to the end, like because I just couldn't switch it off. And that's the only thing you don't get anymore. It's not like you're just going to randomly put on a film halfway through on Netflix. It's like maybe it's a good thing, but
that film's so like Goodfellas. Obviously, I'd say top 3 films of all time. Like definitely. But Ray Liotta in that is incredible. But then it's so weird for someone to have such a prominent role in such a big film and then be known for barely anything else.
I know, yeah.
Like he's appeared in stuff, obviously, but he's just like not. He hasn't had a career really from it. He's just I'm Ray Liotta from Goodfellas.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
it's just so good in that role though, and it's just that film is just for me that film.
Departed, sorry.
No.
Did he not? Was he not like? No, I don't think he is. Is he?
He's been in like lots of in the 90s. He was in like a lot of different things, but he didn't really have that kind of leading role. He was in. I tell you what. I hadn't even seen until. I mean, I probably watched it about. Probably almost like 10 years ago now, but I'd never seen it before. No shit. What's the? I forgot the name of it now. Bad Cops. No, what was it called? Shit. What was the name?
Is it that called? I feel like I've heard Bad Cops as a name before, but
has it got Ray Liotta in it?
Yeah, it's Ray Liotta. It's an unbelievable film. It's so good. Such a good cut. I'm trying to think.
You're about Narc?
No, something Cops.
1 second. I'm looking at his IMDb.
Yeah, look at his Cops. City of Cop City. Oh, what was it?
I'm going for it. 1 sec.
I'll figure it out.
Is it an old film?
Yeah. This is like early 90s, maybe late 80s. I can't remember.
He's been in a lot of stuff, and I have heard of very little of it.
Cop City or something like that.
I'm getting there. I'm in the early 2000s.
Oh, he's getting there.
He's done a lot. Copland. What a film. What a film. That really caught me off guard. Amazing cast. He's like a corrupt cop in it, and it's all about like like all the corrupt cops back then, and I think it's in LA or something like that. But really good. And I think what year was that, Adam? That was 1997.
Oh wow. A lot later than I thought. Yeah, so
wow.
That was
7 years after Goodfellas.
Highly recommend Copland. I need to rewatch that again actually because I really enjoyed it.
He's been in some weird things. He was in Muppets from Space.
He was in. Am I right? Wow. He was in. What was the one with Sigourney Weaver and the girl from I Know What You Did Last Summer, Jennifer Love Hewitt, where she's the mum and she's the daughter, and they scam rich husbands. You know what I'm talking about? He was in that. Wow. He was the husband in that got scammed. I remember that. That was like late 90s.
He was also in Hannah Montana.
And he was also in the Guy Ritchie film Revolver, if you remember. He was like the main.
He was also in Wild Hogs with Tim Allen. And I think John Travolta was in
yeah.
that. He was obviously his most famous role is Tommy Vasetti in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, of course.
I see.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember about like what happened with that?
No.
Like with him, so Rockstar really pulled a fast one with him on that. So obviously with GTA 3, they didn't have any like big names in the cast or anything, and they hired him, and I can't remember how much they paid him, but they didn't pay him. They paid him just like a average fee. He's like, oh, I'm just going to do this little video game. I don't think he really knew, and then he did that, and obviously Vasetti just like blew up. It was huge, and I think it was the biggest selling game ever. And he tried to sue. I don't know if he actually won or not, but he tried to sue Rockstar for them basically not paying him enough, like comparing what they earned on the back of him being, and there was a whole thing over that, and and it was because of that. I think that they didn't want to for San Andreas. They didn't want to get a kind of big name to play the main character. They got obviously still some Samuel Jackson stuff like that, but then after that, I think after San Andreas, they were just like, do you know what? We're not going to go for any Hollywood talent anymore. We're just going to kind of do our own thing, because they all started wanting like the money. Because Ray Liotta was like, "Where's my goddamn money?" Isn't that one of the quotes from Vasetti when he's chasing after him? Give me my goddamn money. Yeah. He's so good though in Vasetti.
He is really good. I'm trying to look. I don't think he won.
After that, I think everyone and their mum tried suing Rockstar for something.
That just happened in general. Yeah. Everyone wanted to sue Rockstar for something.
Funny stuff.
We'll
keep it on that.
Sued for GTA 6.
Yeah. Touching on that a bit, because you mentioned Sigourney Weaver, and still staying on the movie topic.
Yeah.
She is in Cabin in the Woods. Bit unexpected bit towards the end, basically just a cameo. So
is she?
I was thinking, what's the most oh shit, I did not see that coming cameo that you guys have seen in any movie?
I know that one straight away.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
You guys all seen...
Terry, you go first.
You guys all seen Interstellar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When Matt Damon?
When that helmet come off of his suit, Matt Damon, the whole cinema audibly gasped, and everyone was just kind of whispering to each other. Like, that was one of the best kept secrets ever, because he was uncredited and everything, and that was so cool. That was so cool.
Oh yeah,
it loves popping up in films. They did it in Thor, didn't he, as well?
He did it in Thor. Yeah, he's got to be like the biggest actor to just still do random cameos now.
Yeah,
he's in so much that he's just not even main cast in. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
What about you guys?
Vince, who have you got?
Oh man, I don't even. I came up with this question
don't have
2 minutes ago, and I have no idea what my answer is. Because Matt Damon, if he ends up being every single one of our answers, that makes sense. Because the biggest shit one was really Thor. Cool even though that was kind of leaked a little bit that Matt Damon was going to be in Thor, just nobody knew where and when.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And I remember,
he's also in Deadpool 2 as well, though, isn't he?
Yeah. So, or was that Brad Pitt?
No, both of them.
Matt Damon or Brad Pitt? Yeah, both of them are in it because he's one of the rednecks, right?
Yeah, Dickie
and Brad
Greenleaf.
Pitt was the invisible guy. Yeah. Dickie Greenleaf.
It's one thing to have a cameo, but then to be able to keep it secret and not have anything in the credits that's impressive. I'm trying to think of anything else
I'd say.
I mean, at first during the MCU, when the Stan Lee cameos were kind of uncommon. I mean, they were still in every Marvel movie, but still going to see him Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, and all that, and him just popping up in very brief moments. That was still cool. But then now we all just kind of got used to it, except for rest in peace. Now we probably won't get another one.
No, I suppose for me, not a major shock, but was a really fun one to see was Bill Murray in Zombieland.
Yeah, that's a great
shout.
Yes,
absolutely.
Great shout.
Yeah.
That was
I
so
love
good.
Bill Murray. Love Bill Murray. Like, and his comedies, my style of comedy is sarcastic as hell.
Yeah.
Like, and seeing him here in
good.
Zombieland is just like, it's so good. And in
Do you have any regrets? Garfield, probably.
Yeah, God, that's so good, the end bit. Like,
So
when he appears in Zombieland 2 as well.
Mhm.
Spoilers. Like, so good. But the and he's in, is it Dumb and Dumber? He's got an appearance in Dumb and Dumber as well.
Huh.
He plays one of the drug dealers. He's got the
not
full
in the first,
gear on.
Not in the first Dumb and Dumber.
Is it Dumb? I don't know which one it is. It's one of the Dumb and Dumbers. Dumb and Dumber 2.
Oh, was he? I did not know that.
He is the Harry's new roommate. You know, the one who's cooking the meth in the hazmat suit. That's Bill Murray.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit. Didn't know.
Yes, that's one of them. And then more for a cool one, I guess, is Glenn Close in Hook. Like obviously she plays one of the male pirate in Hook. Like the one that gets locked in the brig at the beginning because that's fine. That's Glenn Close. So that's more of a one when you realize it afterwards.
Yeah.
There's.
Oh, I just found mine. I had to look up cameos, and the one on here is Austin Powers and Goldmember. It is Tom Cruise, Gwyneth Paltrow, Kevin Spacey, and Danny DeVito, and Steven Spielberg, like in that opening bit.
Oh, when they do the film,
that was so good. Yeah, when they do the film. It's cool. So good. Such a good moment.
Yeah, that's quite. I like Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder as well. Obviously.
Yeah, Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder. What a good movie, Tropic Thunder. Hasn't aged probably too well with RDJ, but you know,
didn't age well then. But it's like even then, you're like, oh, this isn't. No.
Yeah, no.
But Tom Cruise is funny in that one.
Another Tom one Cruise as well. Django Unchained, Jonah Hill. That was a cool moment.
Oh yes, that's probably my favorite scene in the movie. What? When he just puts the mask on, I can't see fucking shit. Yeah,
can't see shit.
It's so good.
That film is so good. One of the weirdest ones was Michael Jackson in Men in Black 2.
Oh yes.
Oh God, what? Yeah.
Just play one of the agents on the screen.
Yeah, that was weird.
Or obviously Donald Trump in Home Alone 2.
Oh God, yeah.
What weird. Oh yeah, Cate Blanchett and Hot Fuzz. Yeah,
that's a cool one.
I watched Hot Fuzz day before yesterday. So good, so good.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, it's I think that's probably the only.
That film is just full of cameos, so absolutely full of them. What a cast!
Has. I mean, that's pretty much just like all, his movies anyway, right?
Yeah.
So like, question, even going back to
No, go on. Sorry, Vince. You can finish.
Oh, yeah. Even going back to Scott Pilgrim with all actors who just weren't big yet. Shaun of the Dead with Bill Nighy in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I'd completely forgot that Bill Nighy was in Hot Fuzz. Like Steve Coogan, Martin Freeman, Stephen Merchant. It just goes on and on and on and on. Like Bill Bailey, like literally all the best British comedians. Olivia Colman. They just everyone's in that film. Even Timothy Dalton, Timothy Dalton, the villain. Like it's just
Bond.
It's just crazy.
This movie. Oh, what a good time. Such a good time.
So I was just thinking, which two actors or actresses or whatever would you like to see do a movie together that haven't done one together? I know this is putting people on the spot.
Oh man.
But I don't think they've done a film together, but I've got mine to hand, and I think it would be a really interesting film for dynamics. Like, I'm not saying it would be a good film. Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Cruise in the same film because they bring intensity. Like,
yeah.
Like,
see, I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan.
That's fine.
I'm not a big fan of him as an actor. I appreciate what he does, like stunt work and just literally what he gives to the role, the energy and stuff like that. But I'm not like, he's like the opposite of like what I'm like with Tom Hanks. Like with a Tom Hanks film, I want to watch it regardless of what it is because I just really like Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise, it has to be something very up my street, like to watch it, like because Tom Cruise doesn't draw me to a film. Although if it's a Mission Impossible film, they are literally just top tier right now.
You could replace Tom Cruise in mine for Matthew McConaughey as well. I'd like to see Leonardo DiCaprio and Matthew McConaughey have a go at each other in a film. That'd be quite cool.
Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Yeah, but I don't really count. It wasn't long enough.
No.
Like to do a whole film together. But that scene in itself is incredible.
So good.
Yeah.
But, well, who are you guys throwing there? We can throw a few of these in.
You want my joke answer first? Because I came up with a pretty good one.
Go on then.
Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter.
They should do something together.
They should.
And they could maybe get Tim Burton to direct it. That would be interesting. I think De Niro and DiCaprio would have been one of mine. So the fact they're doing that is just so cool. Like, I just can't wait to see those two kind of
younger De Niro when he cared about films, and DiCaprio like pre-Fockers like De Niro. I agree. That would have been. I
mean, you probably put DiCaprio with anybody and it'd still be really good.
Yeah.
DiCaprio and Pacino, have they done anything?
No. Have they? No, I don't think they have.
No, that'd be an interesting one. DiCaprio's so good. You could put DiCaprio and Denzel Washington as well. That would be interesting. You could just put. You're right. Let's take DiCaprio out of it for a second.
Yeah.
Because we're just going to put DiCaprio with anybody.
Yeah,
it's going to be good.
Everybody. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to think who would have the chemistry, like really well done chemistry to be like on screen together.
I know I'm bringing DiCaprio back in, but I'm just going to have to. I'm going to have to for this one. Because can you imagine how fucked up this film would be? Because DiCaprio can go places. He's like when he's on the Quaaludes in Wolf on Wall Street, for example, and so Leonardo DiCaprio and Nicolas Cage.
Oh wow!
Those two.
I'd love to see that.
That film has a lot of drugs happening, that's a work of art straight away.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll promise to leave Leonardo DiCaprio out of this next one.
You know what? I got one. They've been in a movie together before, several movies, but I would actually like to see them play off of each other more. But Chris Hemsworth and Idris Elba, I would like to see them full movie, just working off of each other. Because Chris Hemsworth, now that he's kind of more comedy focused, I would say.
Yeah.
Playing off Idris Elba, who's kind of doing the same thing a little bit.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to watch.
No, I can see that. I think that would be really good. You get any more, Terry?
I don't know, really. That's kind of stumped me.
The difficult one.
Because if you haven't seen them on screen before, you don't really know how well they're going to work together and mesh together.
So I always think Jared Leto's a really good actor. Now, he's made some bad choices film-wise, but he is, when he's on it...
Great actor, yeah.
Great actor, like Lord of War, he's really good in that. And what is it? Dallas Buyers Club? Is that the one?
Yeah, Dallas Buyers Club, yeah.
Matthew
McConaughey, he's great in that.
He's good as the Joker in the final part of Justice League.
See, when I think of it, I like to try and think of what actors I like to see in what directors' movies, and I like that. I always like to kind of think of Tarantino, who I would like to see in his movies and who would work with him there. And I think I'd love to see someone like Matthew McConaughey in a Tarantino.
I was just thinking Matthew McConaughey because Quentin Tarantino loves a monologue.
Exactly. You can just see, the way that Samuel Jackson just can just read like Tarantino's dialogue just effortlessly, and I think McConaughey, that would just, I think he'd have the same thing. I don't know what that character would be.
Yep.
I mean, it probably would suit another kind of old Western setting. Like he would have been really good in Django or like Hateful Eight, and or even Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know, like I'd love to see him in some form. Maybe he will be like the last, supposedly the last film. You know, Tarantino's 10th film. So,
man, Hateful Eight. That's a good cameo though. With what's his name?
I was gonna drop that. I couldn't think of his name. From Magic Mike. Is that what you think?
Yeah, Channing
Tatum. That was a great. That was like a holy shit moment when that happened.
Spoiler.
Oh man.
But no, you're right. I think putting directors with certain actors is really interesting. Like that's a really interesting way of looking at it. Like, because you look at like Nolan and who would work in a Nolan film, but Nolan, like, you know that obviously Michael Caine's going to be in it. So it's like, while he's still alive, Michael Caine will appear in a Nolan film.
Yeah, and that's just become a
That's
thing.
A guarantee.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because I think you have to be a certain type of actor for a Nolan film as well.
Yeah,
he likes a certain type of actor.
Yeah.
Like, but it's difficult. Tarantino's the one, isn't it? I think if you're going to work, if Scorsese has a very clear direct style, and Tarantino has a very clear style, and Nolan does as well. Like, but his is more cinematic style.
Yeah.
They're the two that you think, okay, who could be in these films? Like Scorsese, though, I'd struggle to think of someone who could be in a Scorsese film that hasn't been in a Scorsese film. It's hard to put someone in there.
What I love about Tarantino, I mean, he's like, he's my favorite director. I literally just love every one of his films. But I love how he will completely go against type for the actor.
Yeah.
Like if you look at De Niro in Jackie Brown, like he's completely unlike any other performance of like De Niro's. It's just so like he'll just take, whether it's like an actor that's completely past it, and then he'll just kind of revitalize their career, like he did with loads of people. But who am I thinking of? Pulp Fiction. Why can't I think of his goddamn name?
Pulp Fiction. Man, there's a lot of people.
I've just blanked on.
Yeah. You think
you want about the cleanup guy?
No. I'm talking about.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Main character. Well, I would say main character. No, but
Vincent Vega.
John Travolta.
Travolta. Jesus, I could not think of John Travolta's name. What is that about?
You know what? That escaped me too.
Yeah, he was. He was like, his career was like pretty much done, and then he just kind of brought him back and gave him, I think, his best performance of his career. So good.
Yeah.
And then like he's done that so many times. Like it just brought like Harvey Keitel out
thing as well, isn't it? Though music's always a big thing for
music. Yeah, like
he always brings songs back.
But yeah, they always play against type, and it's just so cool. And yeah, I'd love to see what else he could do.
What do you think his final film genre is going to be?
I don't know. It could be
sci-fi. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be the Star Trek, isn't it? Like he said that.
Yeah.
He said about he's been going on about doing this Star Trek film, and he said he could that could possibly be the 10th movie. But I don't know. You can't end.
Do you think he'll stick to the 10?
Supposedly, that's what he's saying. I hope he doesn't, but that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
But he's quite stubborn, isn't he? He's a bit pretentious.
Yeah.
So you feel like he would stick to it.
Yeah,
like,
I think
for a long time anyway. And then just like, oh yeah, he'll find a loophole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He might do something like.
Well, the rumors was Kill Bill, wasn't it? He was going to do something within Kill Bill, and then there's the Star Trek one.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be. I don't know.
So I'd say, like, I really liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think that was a fantastic film. Yeah, he doesn't.
See that. I want to.
Are you sure? It's so good. He rarely misses a beat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of like. I can't think of one that hasn't been good for a while.
I mean, a lot of people don't like Death Proof.
Yeah.
I love Death Proof.
I think Death Proof's a really good film.
But that was
what it is.
That was his only like kind of box office bomb. But I absolutely, I love it.
Incredible
it's not one of his best films, but I think it's a great film. Great soundtrack, great like the car stunts, like good characters in it.
What if he moves to TV? And he says, "I've done my films."
I think
HBO seasons.
He did mention something about doing something like that. I think he's going to do a lot of. He said he's going to carry on writing, like so whether that'll be like scripts, just doing scripts or whatever. I don't know.
No one can direct Tarantino's
Tarantino's
written film because no one understands what the fuck's going on.
I know.
Like
no.
Oh God.
But he's such a like advocate for film. Like it'll just be sad. Like it's literally just him and Chris Nolan left shooting on film. Like that's where they're my two at the moment. They're my two favorite directors because I just love how they're like so dedicated to that format and
Okay.
I love those.
Yeah. Love me some Tarantino. Absolutely.
I love Tarantino.
But that seems to be time. It was.
Oh, is that time already?
It's time already.
No, I'm not ready to go.
Already. Me either.
Name all your favorite films. Go.
Name all your favorite films. Yikes. We don't have that much time. That's like a couple hours worth.
Do you know before you cut off, Vince? Like that is a thing that comes up in my mind a lot, and I honestly don't think I could. I could probably name like my top 3 films or something like that. But
maybe,
if you said like put together a list of your top 10, 20 films, I don't think I could do it. I'll probably just be like,
it changes all the time.
Yeah, there's just so many,
much,
and I wouldn't know how to kind of relegate ones out of it. I'd just be like, it's just too many important films.
I will ask you this though, Terry. Like, and obviously this isn't a new subject. I'm sorry, Vince. I know you're trying to round up, but you weren't here last week, so you got to do double podcast all in one episode. If you had to do like a top 10, I'm not asking you to name your top 10. Who would feature more? Would it be Tarantino or would it be Nolan?
That's a good question.
Roughly, off the top of your head, I'm not gonna like.
I think it'd be close. It'd definitely be close. It probably would be Tarantino.
I'd say Tarantino.
Yeah, I mean, like if I was just not going into too much detail, but I would definitely be chucking Inception in there, Interstellar and The Dark Knight. Whereas Tarantino, I'd be pretty much chucking like Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, Inglourious Bastards, Django, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
He makes good films.
They all got to go in there.
Such good films, yeah.
And then Scorsese again is up there for me as well. Like it's just so many scores. They're definitely in my top. But then you got to take in like Spielberg. There's just so many. Like
Spielberg, like I'd say
Spielberg. Everything pre 2000.
But then Nolan, Tarantino, definitely, and Scorsese for me are my 3 favorite directors. They probably would make up 90% of my top 10. There's probably space for one other like film, like which I wouldn't even be able to tell you off the top of my head. Probably sentimental film or something like Vanilla Sky.
Like our generation, they we were kind of raised on Spielberg as well, so
that's true.
You think about all those amazing films in the 80s and 90s.
The Coen brothers make some good films as well.
Coen brothers are amazing.
Coen brothers make some great films.
Oh Brother Where Art Thou was an incredible film.
Great movie.
They do There Will Be Blood? Was that Coen?
Yeah.
With Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That is such a hard film to find to watch.
Really?
It's not on Sky. It's not on Netflix. It's not on Amazon. It's like
amazing.
It's like that film doesn't exist, and that is one of my favorite films. I went through a phase where it was that, and when I was I think it was at drama school just for the acting performances. It was that, and for some reason, the one with Brad Pitt, the Wild West one they did.
With Brad Pitt.
the assassination of Jesse James.
Oh yeah, assassination of Jesse James by the coward.
The long ass title movie.
Was it by the coward? Whatever his name
by
was.
the coward,
Robert Ford
Steve
or whatever.
Yeah.
Steve.
Those two. Steve, I think it was.
By the coward, Steve. That should be the name of the film.
Yeah.
Well, sorry to any Steves out there. Apparently, you're a coward.
Yeah, that's it. Steve's a coward. That's those two films, man. Like, and I know that There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men came out at similar times as well, didn't they? They were parodied together quite a lot, but I wasn't a huge fan of No Country for Old Men. It was I don't
even remember much of
movie.
No Country for Old Men.
What?
Just Javier Bardem walking around with an air pressure thing, just popping people in the head, like basically.
Yeah.
He was
Daniel
good at
Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. Amazing.
I drink the milkshake.
I drink your milkshake. But let's not forget though, Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York as was it Butcher Bill?
Butcher Steve, yeah.
Steve. Oh my god,
so
so good in that film. So good.
Oh, so good. He's such a good actor. Such a good actor. But I'd say probably Gangs of New York's probably my favorite of his performances.
Yeah.
Like that film in general is just such a good film. So many big actors in that as well. So many good actors.
Hey, if Scorsese makes a film, everyone kind of jumps in line.
Yeah. I think Scorsese and Tarantino and Nolan films, if they ask you to do it, you jump on there and do it.
Jonah Hill paid, not only did it for free, he paid to be in Wolf of Wall Street. That's how good a director Scorsese is. He's like, so please let me be in your film. I will pay. Like, I need to be in this role. And with DiCaprio vouching for him as well helped.
I tell you who's a really good actor before we go. Stephen Graham.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen Graham is so good.
He's in so many incredible films. Like,
he's one of my favorite actors.
He's such a good actor.
He's I don't know if you know him, Vince.
No.
You will do if you saw him. Have you seen The Irishman?
No.
Have you seen?
Couldn't be bothered.
Have you seen Snatch? Guy Ritchie film. If you haven't seen Snatch, Vince, get on that one right now.
I don't think I've
seen
that.
Brothers.
Band of Brothers. Nope.
Boardwalk Empire. The series.
This is England. What? No. Boardwalk Empire. No.
No. Oh man.
He looks familiar.
Line of Duty series 4. Series 5.
I don't know if you watch it, Terry or Vince. I don't know. Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
He's in the new series.
In the new one coming out?
The one that's coming out, yeah. He's in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's the final season. So,
he's going to be in Venom. Let There Be Carnage.
Okay, well, that's probably not going to be one of his biggest roles.
Maybe avoid that one. But do you know, Adam, you might agree, like he reminds me, it's so weird as well that you brought him up, because when you were talking about two actors that you like to see together, I was going to say Stephen Graham and Joe Pesci, because they're
so similar. That energy,
so similar. They got that energy, right? They like the two people that you just like when they're on film, you're just scared of them. You're just like, I do not want to get on the wrong side of this person because they're just going to turn. Yeah,
he's so good that you should see. So just try and have a look at some of his work. Like,
he was in Rocket Man.
Yeah. He was in Rocket Man, but not a huge role for him. But
not a huge role, but no. I don't remember him from the film. Looking at this picture,
he's going to be in the new Matilda film.
There's a new Matilda film.
They're making Matilda the film. Yeah, he's going to be Mr. Wormwood.
Leave Matilda alone. He's
going to be directed by Danny DeVito again.
He was so good in Boardwalk Empire. He played Al Capone, like a young Al Capone in it, and you see.
I still need to watch that. I really want to.
Boardwalk Empire, again, another thing that was started by Scorsese, and it's just so like you see him like go from this like young kid, like I can't remember the guy's name, but who was the original like New York mob boss, and you see him just like turn into this like figure that that Capone was like when he ends up running Chicago. It's just so good. Yeah, Boardwalk Empire. I mean, I love American mafia, like the whole history of the mafia, and that is just still the best version of that. little bit disappointing in the last season, but it just kind of felt like it felt like it was almost like cancelled, you know? They just kind of just like went, oh yeah, that's it. Like what? But up to that, it's just so good. So good.
I've always meant to watch it, but you know, stuff gets in the way. But because I'm the same. I love.
You'll love it because you love, you know, if you love Scorsese stuff and you love mafia stuff, it's just so good. So good.
Sorry, Vince, to stop your ending.
Yeah, go on,
we went another 15 minutes.
We're going to have to just do like a
John podcast
every week now as well.
The food that's being cooked right now, and it is killing me. But yeah, this has been.
What's your favorite game?
Podcast.
Like, I'll start. No, so my game starts.
Can I mute him? No. Okay. We have fun here. That's the whole point.
I was born in Durham in 1988. It was a rainy Tuesday. Like, I remember it because I was born. Okay, go on. You can finish.
Okay.
Take us out. Oh, we're never going to get out of it.
Right. Oh, man. At some point, hopefully. Oh, here he goes again. Okay, that's perfect. I was prepared for it.
Waiting.
No. Okay.
Just waiting for me to start talking. I want to go to bed. Can we speed this up, please? Come on.
Is that a new jumper, Adam? I've not seen that jumper before.
A PlayStation.
I really like that.
Yeah, it's got there.
It's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Primark, right. Yeah, they do some good stuff.
Yeah, they've got Xbox ones as well, but they're in the bargain bin. Sorry, continue.
No, well, you know.
Throwing some shade at Xbox.
Right? It's a shame he's the host because I'd ban him. But, you know. Think about it. Call out to that one. Ooh. Anyway, this has been your Shifty Crab podcast. Don't forget, you can also join us later in the week on Friday for the Shifty Crab News Break, hosted by the one and only Terry Jeffs. And boy, do we have a bunch of Final Fantasy 14 news to tell you about later this week.
Oh, yeah. It's just going to be one big recap on the new Endwalker showcase, and that's it.
That's it. That's all the news. Clearly, nothing else happened.
Nothing else has happened in the world of news this week, gaming news this week. Nothing at all.
Absolutely nothing. Certainly, IGN's doing just fine right now.
There's nothing for us to try and talk about.
Yep, absolutely nothing else. Final Fantasy 14, biggest story this week.
That's it.
And if you enjoy the podcast, you can join us next Wednesday for another one. Do we talk about films for another hour? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
We didn't talk about food.
We did not talk about food.
We didn't.
I'm not even going to.
We made it through an episode.
No, we did it. We finally did it after how many podcasts? No.
He's got something to say.
I literally do it, but I'm not going to go.
You do? No. Wait, was the last episode not about food, or was it?
We'll say
no.
Okay, I had some mini cheddar. Mini.
Let's go. We have to do this.
I had a bag of mini cheddar. The chili ones. I think was you
the
talking
red
about
ones.
Them? Yeah, I had them just before the podcast, and I forgot to mention them, but they were good. They were really good.
Good, aren't they?
Yeah. Good thing I didn't mention them at the beginning, or we would just talk about food for the whole time.
I know,
Yeah, but now here we are at the end talking about food anyway. We've done it. We've come full circle. We're back to food again.
This is what we are.
This is what we are. This is who we've become. Wait till next week when we premiere our Shifty Crab food podcast.
Oh yeah,
as well as the film podcast. Apparently, we're just making more of these things.
I want to discuss next week. I want to discuss Food Wars, which is my new discovery. But yeah,
Food Wars are good.
Oh yeah, but that's all the time we have. Join us on YouTube. Just search Shifty Crab to find more podcasts and news breaks, as well as your favorite podcast service. That's right. We're not only on YouTube. You can sit down in your car on your way to work or wherever the hell you're going and listen to our sweet, sweet voices via your favorite podcast service. And that is all from us. I've been Vince. Somewhere on the screen has been Adam. Thank you for joining me, Adam.
Yeah, so I want to talk about the world of Jesus Christ.
And then there's also Terry Jeffs somewhere else on the screen. Thank you for joining me, Terry.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's just get out of here. Go. We're never going to leave.
Let's just do it. In the meantime, stay shifty, everybody.
So once upon a time, there was a...
Dude.